Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the English news of Binh Phuoc radio television station and newspaper, and with you with the latest news for today. Binh Phuoc promoting revolutionary ethics. One tree, one green future. Hungary regards Vietnam as a reliable and strategic partner. Vietnam and Cuba rise cooperation, showing squid reaping golden harvest. Ladies and gentlemen, the Binh Phuoc Provincial Party Committee has issued an implementation plan for Directive 42/2025 of the Politburo, aimed at strengthening the party's leadership in fostering the virtues of diligence, thrift, integrity, uprightness, and selflessness. The plan underscored that all officials and party members, especially key leaders and managers, must lead by example in studying and upholding revolutionary ethics in the modern era.
The directive calls for innovation in both the content and delivery of ethics education with approaches tailored to specific target groups. It also mandates a thorough review and update of internal rules and policies to better support the practice and promotion of these values. The ultimate goal is to build a culture of integrity, frugality, and anti-corruption across government agencies, organizations, and the broader political system. Ethics education should be implemented across both public and private sectors with content and scope adjusted accordingly. The plan emphasizes the importance of self-discipline, self-study, and collaboration among families, schools, institutions, and the community, especially in instilling these values in the younger generation.
The digital economy is emerging as a key driver of growth, fueling digital transformation and enhancing the value of core products. Binh Phuoc Province has set a target for the digital economy to contribute at least 30% of its gross-regional domestic product by 2030.
To achieve double-digit growth and reach the 30% target between 2025 and 2030, the province is leveraging its agricultural strengths alongside national policies to support innovation and development. It is also focused on building a robust policy framework to support businesses, encourage smart manufacturing models, and promote technological innovation. In 2024, Binh Phuoc's digital economy made up 10% of its GRDP. The implementation of Resolution 57 is expected to create a solid foundation for the integration of science, technology, innovation, and digital transformation into all phases of socio-economic life, positioning the province for sustainable growth.
Planting a tree is not just an art of greening the land, it's also a way to restore trust in nature and support the long-term health of forests and ecosystems. In Bù Gia Mập National Park, annual tree planting events are held to protect the greenlands for the future generations.
At this tree planting campaign in Bù Gia Mập National Park, forest rangers, local organizations, and residents come together to safeguard special use forests, preserve biodiversity, and contribute to climate change mitigation. For the rangers of Bù Gia Mập National Park, tree planting is more than a job. It's a personal commitment to the environment and to future generations. It also supports the Prime Minister's national initiative to plant 1 billion trees. Alongside tree planting efforts, the park's management also organizes educational campaigns to raise awareness about environmental conservation and promote practical actions that individuals can take to protect nature.
Ladies and gentlemen, from June 8th to 13th, a delegation of the Communist Party of Vietnam, led by Phan Đình Trạch, Politburo member, Secretary of the Party Central Committee, BCC, and the Chairman of the BCC's Commission for Internal Affairs, visit and work in Hungary. The visit coincided with the celebration of the 75 years of diplomatic relations between the two countries from 1950 to 2025. During the visit, the delegation held meetings with many senior Hungarian leaders, exchanged views on the country's situation, bilateral ties, and cooperation between the Communist Party of Vietnam and Hungarian political parties and international issues. The two sources particularly emphasized the sharing of experiences in anti-corruption, judicial reform, and dispute resolution by peaceful measures in line with the international law. Hungary reaffirmed that Vietnam is considered as the most important strategic partner in Southeast Asia under its Eastern opening policy. Despite political differences, Hungarian political parties all support strengthening relations with Vietnam. Both sides highly appreciated the Vietnamese community in Hungary, regarding them as a valuable asset. Phan Đình Trạc expressed his gratitude for Hungary's support in the past and present, and thanked Hungary for being the first EU country to ratify the EU-Vietnam Investment Protection Agreement, urging for the promotion for other EU countries to ratify the agreement soon. According to the Cuban Project Management Board, the 2020-2025 phase of the Vietnam-Cuba Rice Production Development Project in Calumet District, Matanzas Province, has yielded considerable results. Despite an unusual hailstorm that swept across the fields of Calumet, Cuba, causing damage to the paddy fields right before the harvest, the rice plants remained heavily laden with grains thanks to the Vietnam-Cuba Rice Development Cooperation Project. The project has recorded remarkable achievements, such as use of 11.16 tons per hectare in high-tech models, 3 to 4 times the national average in Cuba. In mass production areas, yields reached 5.31 tons per hectare. The 2024 to 2025 winter crop produced over 13,000 tons, helping Cuba halve rice imports to just 110,000 tons, the lowest level ever. The project also built modern infrastructure with over 2,700 kilometers of infield roads and nearly 6,000 kilometers of irrigation canals, and trained nearly 30,000 farmers and technicians. 25 Vietnamese rice varieties have been tested, including 4 promising strains named Vibar. Running from 2003 to 2025, the project symbolizes the enduring Vietnam-Cuba friendship and makes a practical contribution to Cuba's goal of food self-sufficiency. We have more news coming up next. Let's take a look. Despite North American supply chain disruptions and Canada-US trade tensions that reduced imports from major partners, Vietnam's exports to Canada in the first quarter of 2025 still grew by over 13%, reaching nearly $2 billion. If this growth rate is maintained, Vietnam's annual exports may exceed targets, paving the way for Vietnamese businesses to thrive in this market. In 2024, the total trade turnover between the two countries surpassed $11 billion, with Vietnam enjoying a trade surplus of nearly $10 billion, largely thanks to the contributions of Canadian businesses of Vietnamese origin. Canada is a potential market with an open economy, strong purchasing power, and high standards, serving as a vital gateway for Vietnamese goods to access the North American supply chains. Around $4 billion worth of Vietnamese goods still passed through U.S. suppliers, but current Canada-U.S. trade tensions and the growing strength of overseas Vietnamese businesses are opening new opportunities for direct exports to Canada. Ladies and gentlemen, on June 14 in Vũng Tàu City, the Department of Culture, Sports and Tourism of Bà Rịa Vũng Tàu Province, in collaboration with the Vietnam Sports Administration, under the Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism and the Vietnam Skating and Roller Federation, hosted the opening ceremony of the 2025 National Roller Sports Championships. The event brings together hundreds of outstanding athletes from across the country, promising thrilling, high-speed, and technically rich competitions, affirming the vibrant growth of this modern sport in Vietnam. During the first qualifying round, athletes competed in artistic skating and skateboarding events, In the afternoon, the winners of the qualifying round advanced to the semi-finals and finals of these two events. And that's just for this edition of BPTV News. Thank you very much for watching and see you next time.